Okay, we're good. We're live. Hello. How's it going, everyone? This is the show. You know what it is. I don't know. I don't really want to do an intro anymore, but I feel weird just like not being like, hi, hello, welcome to the show, everyone. You know, I like to just get right into it now, but
You should start off with something racist every time.
every time.
Just a racist fun fact.
13% of the population. No.
13% of the population stinks. That's because it's Indian.
Bro, I was on the way here, so I stopped to get this energy drink, and I parked at the gas station. I go in quick, like 5 minutes. I come out, and there's an Indian guy standing like outside my car, and he put his fucking smoking a cigarette, and he put his fucking coffee on my trunk,
On your trunk.
and he's just standing outside my car, and I look at him like, hey, and I'm like dressed like this with my shirt out, wearing my sunglasses. Just like a complete white piece of shit,
Yeah.
right? Just like I look at him like, hey, off the car. And he just had nothing. And he was like, yeah, what are you gonna fucking take? And then he just kept eyeing me the whole time on my way out.
They do that, eh?
Yeah, and
yeah,
I'm
they
like,
do that.
bro,
They eye
like,
you.
listen, look, it's not a race thing, but it's a thing where it's like, hey, man, like, bro, like, you listen, if you're brown, act accordingly because we already hate you. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no,
No,
I share that sentiment, yeah.
We already hate you, right? If you don't want it, it's the same thing with being a Jew. Like, people hate Jews, sure. So what am I going to act like a Jew, or am I going to try and be like, hey, they're not all bad, represent my people? It's the same thing.
Just to have a better representation, absolutely. Were you parked in a handicap spot? Because I noticed the last time I went to a gas station, you parked in the handicap spot, which, again, I think's great. Like, freedom. That's sick.
Sure.
But, like, were you parked in the handicap spot?
I was parked in, I think, a loading spot, not a handicap spot this
So not
time.
a handicap spot, though.
But there was nothing being loaded.
There's nothing being loaded.
There's
Who
nothing being
cares?
loaded.
Yeah, yeah.
I was in there for 2 minutes. Got my energy drink and jumped out.
Yeah, interesting. I love the energy you came at him with too. Like, hey, buddy, off the
the
goods,
car.
off the goods.
You see me? I'm white. I colonize you. Get off my...
Yeah,
Hey, buddy, off the car. You
buddy,
know?
we worked hard for this land.
Spent $4 on this energy drink. Get off the fucking car. Anyways. Oh yeah. Before I left the house today. Good?
Yeah, we're good. Keep going.
Oh, you hear a little feedback? Maybe the volume on your headphones a little. Just turn the volume on your headphones down a little bit. Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah, that's all right.
We're back.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. While I was getting ready to leave my house, I was just like walking around, like pretending I was home alone. Right, it was just my cat. I was pretending I was like this Italian guy who had like no riz, basically. Like,
Are you home alone at this point?
I'm home alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just talking to
All right.
myself,
Yeah.
home alone, right, to my cat, and I'm just like pretending I'm this Italian guy that's just like trying to get women to come over to suck his dick, basically. But he's got no game about it, so he's just like, hey, I was just walking around like, honey, come over and suck my fucking dick. What's the fucking problem here, honey? Come over and fucking put my penis in your mouth.
Did your cat come over?
Huh?
Does your cat come over?
My cat?
Yeah.
My cat was just running around the like.
Yeah,
just-
and you're like being like, come over.
Yeah, no, I was like, hey, honey, come over here. Come put my fucking penis in your mouth. What's the problem? You come over, I put it in your mouth, you suck it, you leave. What's the fucking issue here?
I don't know what you're talking about. This Italian guy sounds like he has riz. Just
Yeah.
straight to the point, confident.
It's like thinking, like, you ever watch Dice Clay or something? That's kind of how he talks, but it's just like, it's like not cool. Like, he's like the voice is cool, but he's just like a complete predator. And he's like, honey, listen, you come over, I put it in your fucking ass. You take it in your head, you get up, you leave.
You give it a little kiss, you give it a lick, you get out.
You
no
give it a little
problem.
fucking kiss of Rudy. Get a little kiss of booty. Get the fuck out of my house. Come over and... Dude, this was like 30 minutes I was doing this. Come over. Suck my fucking dick, honey.
Do you ever do this on stage? You ever do this
No,
voice?
never.
Just try it once in a while. It's funny.
Once in a while,
It's
just go on
funny.
stage. Hey, honey. Hey, you guys ever hear about the Italian guy with no riz? And he just goes, I say it within the character. Like, I go, you ever hear about the Italian guy with no riz? That's what I'm being right now. Hey, honey, come over and suck my fucking penis. What's the issue here? I love that. That's my favorite type of Italian. Like, I was thinking, there's a few parts of Italy. There's Sicily, there's the north of Italy, the south of Italy, and then there's New Jersey. And like that's 4 parts of Italy, 4 different sections. I love that New Jersey part. Hey, honey, what's the big fucking deal here? Come over and fucking.
Yeah, no, you're a big Italian mobster kind of guy. That's your thing.
I grew up in the culture.
Yeah, for sure.
Meaning, just like I watched the movies over and over. I didn't grow up in it. I would just watch the movies. You know, it's like it's like, you know, you ever hear that story of the kid whose parents abandoned him and he grows up with wolves and then he becomes a wolf. Like he thinks he's a wolf. It's like a story or a fairy tale or
Sounds
something.
like Tarzan. That's
Sure,
gorillas.
could be Tarzan. Yeah,
with the gorillas.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe it's a Russian story that my grandma.
Maybe it's a remake.
Yeah, something like that. But basically, you know the premise, right? It could be any animal.
Any animal.
Doesn't have to be a wolf necessarily. You know, Tarzan grows up with the monkeys. He thinks he's a fucking monkey. I don't like the way I said that with that Italian voice. There's fucking Tarzan. He fucking grew up around monkeys. Now he thinks he's a fucking monkey. I don't like the way. I got to say that in a very nice, clear voice. But yeah, I kind of grew up like that. But it was just like Home Alone. My mom just left me with a DVD player and every mob movie you could think of, and and I'm just like, I just polluted my brain growing up. I'm just like, oh honey.
You're turning into one too.
Hey, what do you think? A Lincoln better than a Cadillac or what? Huh? Cadillac better than a Lincoln? Oh, the Cadillac, forget about it. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
It's so funny to think your mom talking to you, like when you're talking to your mom like this too, like giving her in the back seat, like, Mom, take a left, lady.
Ma, what'd you learn how to fucking drive? Did you get your fucking license from a cereal box? Ma, come on, you dumb broad. What the hell's the matter with you? Man, that's my favorite. I love the Italian misogyny because you can just like get away with it. It's so good.
It's in the culture.
Yeah, it's in and they just the Italian women just accept it. They're like, I am a dumb broad. You know, I am a fucking dumb broad.
What am I supposed to do in this world?
What am I supposed to do? I'm just a dumb broad in this Italian man's world. I don't understand. Oh man! All right, we gotta do part 2 of this fucking shit. We did last episode was a long one. It was 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, we went through the first 15 years of my life. Not all of it. I was realizing later. Wasn't all of it.
What, are we doing a good copy today? We're doing a good copy?
Yeah, we're doing it over. We're doing part 1, 2. You get what I mean? Like part 1.5. No, we're not doing that. That was fine. Listen. We'll get to the very vulnerable stuff eventually. Right now, we ended off last episode at year 15.
Yep.
Year 16, all right? I like how we split this up, all right? Because part 2, this is going to be a good one, all right? Year 2, I like this one. The good meaty stuff comes in.
Year 16 was good. That's when you started stand-up. So this is like a new chapter in your life.
That's about a year. Yeah,
it's a new book in your life.
We're getting into it,
yeah.
All right? We're getting into it. I don't know. Listen, part of my head is like, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck wants to hear this shit? But you know what? I do. I want to hear it myself. I want to hear me talk about myself.
Understand. Robert watches every podcast.
I'm going to watch this podcast.
In its entirety, yeah.
I make my own content.
Yep.
If you do not like the content you watch, make it yourself and watch it on your own.
Very true, man. I've been complaining about 25 movies that have come out this year. It's like, why don't I just make my own?
Make your own fucking movie.
Yeah, who am I to complain?
I started grade 11, year 16.
Yeah.
Grade 11, we started it, all right? I was on the right path. You know, I'd finished grade 10. I was a normal teenager somewhat. You know, my Crohn's was starting to act up a bit, but you know, it was what it was. I managed it. You know, I dealt with it. You know, I had a buddy who that I grew up with. He moved to Sweden at the time, so it was just me on my own. You know, it was me and him. But now it was just me on my own. Right? I was going to high school. I fucking loved Drake at the time. This was Drake's peak. 2016.
Give me a song that came in 2016 by Drake.
Well, 2015 you had Hotline Bling.
Oh yeah, you know, he was starting to take over at this point.
This is when he was becoming the quote unquote sixth god.
Yeah.
The god of the six, quote unquote. I think Views from the Six came out in 2016.
Okay.
Which was the summer song of the summer.
Should be Googling this.
It definitely came out 2016.
Yeah.
It didn't come out 2016. Views from the Six came out. I loved it. I had my friends. Everything was going well. You know, everything was going well. Me and my boys, we'd go to the mall. We try to pick up chicks, right? You know, when you try to do that, you try to get a bunch of numbers for some reason, thinking that girls would give them to you based on a 2-minute, hey, hi, hello, it's me. Can I get your numbers? But that was a good practice to handle rejection. This is a good practice you should go to the mall. You should try to talk to women. If you are scared of rejection, just get rejected. Get rejected 100 times. Maybe not at the mall, trying to talk to women, but you should just get rejected 100 times.
Were you ever kicked out of the mall for doing this?
No, I never got to that part because I think the security guys looked at me and went, this guy's not a threat. What's this guy's fucking issue?
Give him a chance.
He's going to be okay. Come on. He needs to get his dick sucked. Honey, Honey, this kid's he's trying to go to the mall, do a couple of
stick it
checks.
in the back, stick it in the front. Who gives a shit?
Hey, yo, party in the front and party in the back. Everything. Year 16, man. Listen, man. That was like I think year 16 was just the last year where things were just normal, you know? I was on a normal path. Who the fuck knew what I wanted to do? Maybe I wanted to be an accountant. Maybe I wanted to do this, you know? 16 it was the year, bro. It was the last normal year before my life changed forever. It was the last just we're figuring things out still, you know? All right. Year 17. 2017. Now this is the year that everything changed. Okay? And just to reiterate, by the way, the reason we're doing this is because my therapist said that I have to think about, instead of dwelling and having an existential crisis every fucking day about how I'm getting older and time's passing me by, I have to think about everything I've accomplished in the last 25 years of life. Part 1 was year 1 to 15, all right? This is going to be year 16 to year 25, hopefully. And we're going to get it done, okay? We're going to fucking get it done. And this is just for her. All right, I'm going to send this to her, but it's for you guys to listen to.
Did you tell her about this yet?
No, not at all.
No, you want to give her the finished product.
Sure. I don't think I don't want my therapist listening to my podcast.
Well, you got to show her you did the work.
I did it.
Did you show her your notes?
Hmm?
Did you show her the notes?
No.
So she just thinks that you're lazy.
No, she just told me to think about it and then didn't bring it up next session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, next session we just talked about how I'm getting 100K views right now on Instagram.
Jesus, just pumping your ego down.
Yeah, now I'm like,
interesting.
I'm killing it. She's like, you are killing it. No, imagine that was what it was. She's just a hype chick. She's just like I just pay her to gas me up every day. Like, don't even analyze what the hell's going on with you. Just you're killing it. You're perfect. Everything you do is amazing, Robert. Like, yeah, that's what I fucking pay you money for.
Yeah, you keep that up.
You dumb broad.
Come over here, suck my dick.
Come over here and fucking suck my penis.
I'll pay you a little extra.
I'll give you a tip if you know what I mean. I'll give you a little tip. Man, I think I got to stop talking like this because eventually I'm just going to turn into this.
I hope so.
I won't be able to. You're going to lose me as a human being. I'm going to cross over to that
you'll
side.
Evolve. You'll evolve to what you're inevitably going towards anyway. Look at the shirt and the mustache, dude. You're just missing the voice.
I know. I'm really embracing my sleazebag era right now.
I fucking love it, dude.
The shirt last week was sleazy.
You are a scumbag now, dude. This is actually like a nice shirt. Like last week was like kind of like it was nice, but it was like shitty. Like this is nice.
It's a nice shirt, but I wear it like a sleazebag.
I like a scumbag. Dude.
I give it scumbag energy.
I don't want this to change.
I
would like it to be further.
I went on stage like with my fucking chest open and like.
Do you have a gold chain yet?
Not yet.
Oh,
no.
bro, like get a gold chain. I'm buying you a gold chain. Next time you come in, you're gonna have a gold chain.
A fake Downsview flea market chain?
No, it's just gonna have a cross on it. Yeah, sure.
We'll get there. Listen, sleazebag era takes a minute. All right, becoming a sleazebag is a day-to-day process. Baby steps, day by day.
Yeah, we got 7 days till the next time I see you. I'm putting that on you.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick, we're building the sleazebag era. Okay, that's what I'm in. I'm in my sleazebag era. We're talking about my life. We're talking about things I've accomplished. The next things going forward is turning into a complete sleazebag.
Yeah.
You know, a nice sleazebag though. You know, like a nice sleazebag. A guy who respects women. And there's a sleazebag.
He'll rip you off, but he'll lose a bit of sleep about it.
Yeah. Like honey.
It's for a greater cause.
Honey, you're a good girl. Honey, come on. Hey.
Honey, I didn't mean to hit you so hard. Come back.
If a man doesn't want to sleep with you, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. What's the problem? If you're just because a man buys you dinner doesn't mean you gotta have sex with him.
Honey, you're a 5. You're a solid 5.
Honey, you're a 5, which is saying a lot nowadays.
Look at this chick. Look at this chick. Look at this chick.
Look at her. Come on. What? You're on fucking Grindr. You're on the gay dating app. That's okay. You're allowed to be gay. You're fucking on a Grindr app. It's all right. That's the kind of sleazebag I want to be. A guy who's, tolerable, but he's a sleazebag.
Yeah, that was tolerable.
He's tolerable. He's like,
I could live with that.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. Year 17. This was the year I finally started doing stand-up comedy. I love fucking doing comedy. First time I ever went to go do stand-up, I watched. It was at the Corner Comedy Club. Shout out to Corner, best club, one of the best clubs in Toronto. Contractually obligated to say that.
Yep.
I mean, no, contractually obligated to say not the best, one of the best. You know, Yuck Yucks, I love Yuck Yucks. They give me everything. Please do not fire me. But Corner is also a great spot to go watch comedy. And it was, I showed up, so I'd watched a few shows. First show I ever watched was there, like live comedy was there. Very small room at the time, about 30 people. And I saw it and I was like, yo, this is it. I'm home. I'm home. You know, I've watched them like, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to fucking do. I showed up to their Monday open mic like a few weeks later. Their sign up was at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and the show would start at 8 and then it would go till about midnight. But I showed up around 5, but I was like, oh, I don't want anyone to think I'm too excited. I was like 17. I was like, I don't want anyone to think I'm too excited. So I waited. And then I walked in at like 6:30 and the sign up was full because there was only a limit. There was like 10 spots per every hour. 10 spots for the 8 o'clock, 10 spots for the 9 o'clock, 10 spots for the 10, so on. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. But then Joe, shout out Joe, owner of the Corner. Love him. Been like a father to me. He was like, hey, man, listen, put your name on the standby list. Everything will be all right. You know, put it on the stand. There's a standby list. Put it on there. If there's someone doesn't show up or whatever, we'll put you on. You know, it's all good. All right, cool. I hang out there till about 10. I sit. I watch the whole fucking show. And then the host at the time, Jeremy Dobsky, who I love Jeremy Dobsky, gave me my cat. He found me my cat. His girlfriend found it. I adopted him from her. But Jeremy Dobsky sees me and goes, hey, man, you're on. You're next. What's your name? Robert Khakham. You're next. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck. I'm next? Oh, shit. I had written notes. I had a bunch of shit going on. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then I went up there, and I'll be honest, my name got called up. I went out there. I'll be honest, I can't really remember what I talked about necessarily because it was just such a blackout experience. It was such an experience where, like, it was just so blacked out. Like I don't really remember anything. My first jokes or anything. I just remember getting a couple of chuckles. There was maybe 10 people there, 8 people. I didn't know what the fuck a real laugh was. I just heard people somewhat laughing, and I go, oh, sick. I'm doing it. This is it. You know, this is comedy. Fuck yeah, I'm doing it. I got off stage. I was the most excited I've ever been, most happiest I've ever been. And then I took the subway home, and I like could not sit still. I was like jumping from the fucking monkey bars or whatever you call them. The
flu handles?
Yeah, the handles that you're supposed to hold onto the subway. I was like people were like walking away from me because they thought I was hopped up on something. They were like walking away from me, and I was like, that's it. I found it. This is what I want to do. I want to be a fucking comedian, you know? And then from there, you know, the rest is, we're going to get into the rest, but that's kind of was the starting point where, like, and now now in hindsight, I realize that I probably sat there for a minute, and Joe probably told Jeremy at the time hey, he saw me, he's like, hey, put this kid on. Maybe everyone was there, but he saw me on the stand-up list, a standby list. He saw that I showed up a few times, so he was like, hey, you know, put the fucking kid on. Come on, wait, you know,
give the kid a chance.
Yeah, give the kid a chance. Come on, and that set off a chain reaction to the point where 8-9 years later, we're here today. So shout out the Corner, shout out Joe, absolute fucking legend, Corner Comedy Club in Toronto. So at the time, I was like, let's say I wasn't gonna like maybe pass. I'd failed one course at the time, I think. And once I started comedy, bro, that's it. That was over. Grade 10, year 15, I was like pretty decent student. You can see, like, I looked at my report card the other day, and you could see just fucking, like, grade 9, shit. Grade 10 started to get better. Grade 11 was good till about the halfway point, and then you just see the fall off. Like, if you look at a graph, you can see the graph from when I started comedy to my marks, and it's just, like, going down. It's, like, on a down slope almost. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, because I was done, bro. That's it. I found comedy, and I was like, that's it. I don't want to do fucking anything else. That's it. I did my first set. I did one fucking set, and I was like, that's it. Like, why am I even doing this still? Why am I still even going to school? I was ready to drop out. Not even, like, right away, but about a year in, I was like, I was ready to fucking go. I had the paper right there. I was ready to drop out of high school. You know, I was ready. You know, a bunch of people convinced me not to, and they were right. I was happy I finished high school, at least. At least I have a fucking high school diploma. Thank God. I've seen people without high school diplomas, still good people, but it's like, dude, that's like the bare, like, homeless people have high school diplomas. They sleep with it in their tent.
Yeah.
Somewhere. It's somewhere.
Makes life tough, though, without a high school diploma.
Way tougher.
Yeah.
Way tougher. I'm happy I finished high schoolies. But here's the thing. Year 17, all right? I was hanging out the corner so much. I was barking. There was another comic. His name was Andrew Oporto. We love Andrew Oporto here. Killing it on fucking social media. Me and him were barking one time, and he floated the idea as a joke of being like, maybe I should get, because I'm hanging out at the comedy club so much, he was like, maybe you should do your volunteer hours here, because you need volunteer hours to pass high school. It's like, oh, maybe. And then sort of it just kind of, we talked, and sort of the idea, we kind of landed on like, maybe I could do a co-op here, like a work for high school credits kind of thing. And I'm like, maybe I can. You know, it started as a fucking joke, right? I talked to Joe. I'm going into the next semester, okay? We're already on year 18. Oh, but also, by the way, year 17 was the same time as the Fast and Furious 8 movie came out.
Can't forget that ever.
I do not forget that. Yeah. Fast and the Furious 8, The Fate of the Furious.
Yep.
The same time I was starting to do comedy, that movie came out. If you really think about it, it makes perfect sense that Fast and Furious 8 was released as the same time I wanted to go do stand-up comedy, just because, you know, we're two pieces of art here. You know, an artist finding his craft, and Fast and the Furious 8 at the peak of the Fast and the Furious movies coming out. We start debating, you know, doing a co-op. I talked to Joe, and I'm like, hey, man, could I do, like, maybe do a co-op here, whatever, where I work? And he's like, hey, man, if you can set it up, you can fucking set it up. Why not? Sure, you know? Cool. And I'm hanging around fucking degenerates at the time. I'm like 17, 18. I'm hanging around fucking degenerates, right? I have no business being in this place. I should be doing what everyone else at 17, 18. What were we doing at 17 or 18, Tyler? Drinking.
Trying to get laid.
That's
been it.
Smoking weed.
Yep.
Fucking skateboarding. You had a skateboard phase for sure. No, really?
No. I hung out with them, but I didn't do it.
You never skateboarded?
No.
Fuck. Okay.
Too much fear. Not too much fear.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
good. You had a good mom. She raised you well.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure. Yeah.
You know, every time I'd be like, I want to get him a skateboard, my mom would be like, you're gonna fucking crack your goddamn head open.
Yeah.
And you're gonna die. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm not skateboarding then. All right, cool. I'm not gonna skateboard then. No worries. So 2018, you were on year 18. 2018. Okay, year 17 is when it started. It was when the preseason started. All right, year 18 is when we started the regular season. Okay, I started barking, started doing open mics. I'd been doing for about a year at the time. 2018, I go to Joe. Can I do a co-op? He goes, hey man, if you can set up, you can set it up. Let's do it. I go to I get the co-op. I sign up for the program the next semester. Right. And again, I was ready to go to summer school at this point because I was already one credit behind. But whatever. I asked my co-op teacher, first day, class is in session, whatever. I go, hey, she's trying to find her placements for where we go work, right? I go, I want to work at a comedy club. And she goes, well, I don't know any comedy club owners. And I go, oh, well, I do.
Let me tell you a thing or two about comedy owners.
I go, no, I know a guy. And she goes, what? You know a guy? I'm like, yeah, I know a guy. Yeah, I know a guy. She's like, okay. So I give her Joe's number. And this is like, we're talking like this is 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock-ish. She calls Joe. Doesn't pick up, right? Calls him again. Picks up. And I'm sitting at the other end of the classroom, and she's on the phone with him. And I swear to God, from the other end of the room, I could hear Joe's just getting out of bed. Like, I could hear it, you know? This is when Joe was like, not as cool as he was a partier at the time. He was partying, you know? He liked to party at the time. Now, he doesn't do so no, as much anymore. He's straight arrow, clean-headed. But he was a partier, you know? He liked to party. He's waking up at 12 p.m., you know? It's okay. You know, I'm not here to judge. I woke up at 12 p.m. today. What the fuck are we doing here, right? And she goes, I hear only her side of the conversation, but picking up on her reactions, I could tell what Joe's saying to her, right? She goes, hi, is this Joe? And I could hear Joe go, yeah, who's this? Joe's like this old Italian guy. We love Joe, right? He's this fucking old construction worker Italian guy. He doesn't talk like this, you fucking dumb broad, who's this, right? He's more like a, hey, hi, hello, yes, I'm Italian. He's like one of those guys, right? He's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm a teacher for Robert Khakam's school at Northview Heights. He was telling me that he's doing some work, and I was hoping to get a call program. And there's a pause, and I can hear Joe go, oh yeah, Robert. Yeah, no, he's great. Yeah, I know. He performs here. He starts bullshitting her. He's like, he performs here, and he bullshits the absolute fuck. He knows that this is the co-op. I can. There was that moment pause where I could tell through the phone Joe's like thinking, and he goes, oh yeah, that's right. It's this bitch. Fuck. Yeah, that's right. Shit. He's like, and then he just starts bullshitting, bro. He starts going fucking. So Robert, he performs here. He's amazing. This is my favorite line. He told me he said this. This is my favorite line. He goes, he performs here. He's amazing, you know. And you know what? He performs, and he inspires all the other comedians that perform. And I'm like, no, there's no fucking way that was true. I was 17 years old talking about fucking hand jobs or whatever. There's no fucking way that was true. But when she told that to me, in my head, I believed. I was like, I do. That's right. I inspire these people. Yeah. I'm like the next generation. I like inspire these comedians. You know, I'm like, I'm here to fucking, you know, I'm here to inspire people, right? And we set it up. We set up the whole thing. We have a meeting. I give him the contract. I give him the paperwork. My original co-op, essentially, this is my high school course, is going here to work with Joe, and I'm getting high school credits for it. Essentially, I'm getting 4 high school credits, which is a whole day's of work. I get up. I had one class in the morning, and then I would go and fucking work there. And originally I was signed on as social media intern or social media, like my official quote unquote job title was to help out with the socials and stuff, which I did. You know, I helped out, but I was just like, you know, I'd hang around with Joe all day. You know, we'd fuck around, we'd whatever go. You know, he'd teach me, you know, how the club ran. You know, he'd teach me, you know, the booze and you know, run to the beer store and do this and buy this, just you know, the logistics and day-to-day stuff. Probably one of the most fun times of my life. I got to be honest here. Like, probably one of the most, like, just how the fuck did we even manage to get that happen? For that to happen, I don't know. I had no business being around these people. If it was my kid, I'd be like, what the fuck, right? As I'm older now. But I realized, I'm like, man, it's probably one of the most fun times of my life, just hanging out. One time, because this was such an unconventional thing. Like, my co-op teacher had never seen this, right? We're hanging out, and we were getting Nitish Sakuja. You know Nitish. Yep. We love Nitish, sort of. Sort of. But we love Nitish. We were getting his album. He was doing an album, and we were just, like, doing the logistical stuff. We were there working during the day. We were just hanging out. We were, like, working. We were just, you know, getting logistical stuff ready for his album, recording, like, his cover art, that sort of thing. But we're degenerates. We're just hanging out, you know, and then I get a call from my teacher. It's like, hey, Robert. I'm like, oh, hey. She's like, I'm outside. Like, oh, you're outside the club? And she's like, yeah. And, like, we got, like, there's blunts out on the table. There's weed everywhere. There's edibles. There's fucking Joe smoking a cigarette. Like, we're having a good time. We're working, right? But there's shit. So as I go around to open the door, I'm like, on the phone, I'm like, oh, you're here? I go out to open the door. I just hear a bunch of shuffling and shit. And these guys, Joe and Atish, everyone, they just start hiding all the not things you're supposed to have around a student. They just start hiding the blunts. They start hiding the edibles. By the time the teacher comes in and checks in, and all that's left is, you know, the cameras and the microphones and all the stuff that, you know, officially we're trying to get to work for. So clearly she just wanted to make sure that this was a real thing, that I wasn't just saying, hey, I'm going to go work at this comedy club and fucking off for all day, right? But it was just that little shuffling. I'll never forget the shuffling noises. It was like they were just back in like middle school or so. Your mom's home. You got to hide everything again. It's like these are grown men, bro, and they're just hiding shit. It was fun, man. That was like, it was honestly, I will say, one of the fun times. I got to work the door at the clubs at the time too, man. I got to watch all these guys now who are like killing it for free. I got to watch all these dudes, like, I got to analyze what they did. You know, I got to analyze guys, like everyone who was at the corner in that time period is now killing it somewhere. Like you had fucking Ryan Long before he blew up. I got to watch him killing it right now, touring, murdering, making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Ryan Long. You had JJ Lieberman, who's not a pervert now, killing it. I got to see these guys when they were just bitter fucking nobodies, and it was the best time. And they were killers, right? I got to watch these guys from the back room. Paul Thompson, I don't know what he's doing now. He's making art or something. He's talking about art on Instagram. Still cool. Andrew Packer, killing it. All these guys, I got to watch all these guys, and that's what I kind of feel bad for this new generation of fucks coming up, because it's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you got to put up with the abuse. you know, but you don't really have anybody you're watching right now that's like, oh, this guy's gonna be a star. You know, there's nobody like really like that right now. Like, there's not that magic kind of lore that club had, and the people you used to be able to watch is not really a thing like anymore. You got to deal with fucking a bunch of bums all day now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just kind of a new wave, though, right? Like, we're kind of just waiting for that moment.
I guess that's a good way
to
put it.
You know what I mean? Like, if you stayed at the corner, it could be like, oh, like Robert's kind of maybe the next guy that's going to pop here.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we're just kind of we're in that limbo phase right now.
Maybe I'm not the guy to talk about because I'm old and bitter now, but.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, I think they're old and bitter because, like, they were doing it for a while and they were good, but they're like, nobody fucking gives a shit.
No, I'm saying I'm old and bitter now because maybe somebody is feeling it.
You're not old, you're just bitter.
Sure. It goes hand in hand, my friend.
No, it doesn't.
It goes, bitterness and oldness goes hand in hand, my friend. There was just a certain, like, almost just like a magical kind of lore.
I've heard that. I've heard JJ talk about that as well. Where he's like, it was so cool back then. Like, because he really did cultivate like a community at that.
Because we were all like fans of like the old New York scene of comedy, the Comedy Cellar, the ball busting, the fucking. We almost kind of emulated that here in Toronto at the Old Corner Comedy Club, where we were that's just what we just knew, you know. And like, I came in and I got my balls busted and it was brutal, you know. And there was definitely 1 or 2 times where I went home crying because I just couldn't handle it. One time I got just absolutely destroyed by Joe and Morgan. Like, Morgan, he doesn't do anything now. He lives in Montreal, but he was a comic too. It just got and it was like jokes now where I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. You know, I'm more of a secure guy now, but back then you're 17, 18. You don't know. You're a fucking secure guy, right? But you know what? My whole thing was, I'm coming back. I'm not going to let you fucks get to me. I'm coming back. All right, I'm going to show all you fucks.
You're just walking away to your car. I'm fucking coming back.
Yeah, I'm coming back. I'll be back tomorrow. You're not going to break me. You're not going to fucking break me, all you fucks. You know, because I was the kid, you know, and the kid got his balls busted, period. One time they all accused me of stealing all the boy, and like, I didn't steal, like, I don't know. I didn't steal fucking nothing. They accused me all of stealing. Like, right? And then, so somebody who would come, Nitish would show up, not have any clue what's going on in the conversation, find out that the running joke is I steal jokes, and then he'd be like, Robert, why are you stealing jokes? And like, within the first 2 minutes of him arriving, and I'd be like, no, I'm not stealing, I swear, man, I'm not stealing nothing. You know, just that shit, man. We loved, like, it was just that old, like, it was a boys club at the time. It's not so much anymore. Now it's more of accepting of, but it was like, people called it a boys club back then. Yeah. It was like the outlier, or like the sore thumb of the comedy scene, kind of, where it's like, there's a boys club. It's not so much, no one doesn't have that reputation anymore. But back at first, the first 5 years was literally like, there's a boys club, there's all men, they just fucking hang out. And it's like, it's kind of true. You know, we'd all throw a football in the fucking alleyway. There was an alleyway where we'd all hang out. And it was just, oh man, just some of the best memories in that alleyway. I'm not even joking, dude. I was just writing jokes in my notebook one time. JJ walks up, slaps it out of my hand. He's like, there's nothing in there. There's nothing in there you fucking need, bro. And I loved it, man, because I grew up fucking hearing these stories of the old stories of New York, of like the Cellar, like the Patrice and the Bobby Kelly and the Bill Burr and the Jim Nortons all busting each other's balls. And I was like happy to be there because like, I'm a part of it. Yeah, this is my story now. This is my fucking Comedy Cellar story now. And sure enough, it is. Oh man, I'm just trying to think of like some of the good moments. Armin came in one time. Armin or Bobby, we love him here. He came in one time with like a bag of trail mix. Like, he was just eating nuts, and JJ fucking slapped that out of his hand too, and the nuts just went all over the carpet, and he made him pick him up nut by nut. And like, he had to pick up every fucking, like, oh, there's an M&M here, there's a raisin here. This one time, this one comic came in with a slice of pizza in his hand on the Monday open mic, and Joe's brother was there behind the bar, and this guy was clearly just like, he showed up with just like a slice of pizza in his hand, and he's like about to go on stage, and he has nowhere to put the pizza. It's a small room, and he goes to Joe's brother, he goes, can you hold this pizza for me? And he goes, no. He's like, well, where am I supposed to put it? And he goes, yo, you know what? Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here. No, you're not going on stage. Fuck out of here. And he threw his pizza in the garbage.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, man. It was.
Did the kid not get to go up?
No,
that's sick.
I think he got banned. I'm not even kidding. I think he got banned, dude. I'm not even joking. I think he got fucking banned, dude. Oh man. Fuck. I'm just trying to think of like if there's any like. Here's the thing, man. It was also kind of there were traumatic moments, so I think I kind of blocked some of that stuff out. You know, I think if I kind of it was borderline bullying, but it was still just like, come on, it was such a fucking great time, man. Rick Rowley, who's a comic who lives in Vancouver now. He makes like hockey content now on Instagram. Rick Rowley 3, fucking hilarious dude, right? But he was like a typical Canadian, like he was like the dummy of the club at the time. He would like bomb and like he'd have like meltdowns outside the club, and we just would not care. There was one time where he was like, "Well, I don't fucking need this shit, yo. I'm going on fucking tour." And then the other guy was like, "You're going to fucking Edmonton. Shut the fuck up. All right, it's fine. You're going to fucking Alberta. You're not going on fucking tour. All right, relax. You're doing 2 cities. All right, you're doing an open mic in 2 fucking cities. It's fine."
Going on tour.
Yeah. He's like, "I'm going on tour. I don't need this shit, buddy." He's like, "You're going to fucking Edmonton. All right, calm down. Okay, you're not going on a fucking tour. All right, relax, bro." Just good times, man. Just honestly, just like now that I'm an old man, now that I'm an old bitter wise man. I realized, like, you know, I really needed that. Like, I came in at, like, the perfect time before it just became, like, super gay and before it became just, like, what it is now. I came in at that time where it was just, like, this is it, you know? You asked to anybody who was there at that time period, that, like, the corner was the spot to hang out. Like, that was the spot. Like, because the thing is, the comics there were actually cool. Like, yeah, you got your balls busted, but you understood, like, okay, yeah, I have to get my balls busted. Imagine getting your balls busted by a fucking loser who's not even that cool. Like a guy who busts your balls and goes on stage and bombs. Like, you can't do that. You can't be busting someone's balls, slapping shit out of their hands, and then you go up stage and eat a fucking dick. You can't walk around with that bravado, with that. You gotta fucking show you, right? That's why I understood. You know, these guys were killers. They were the top of the scene at the time, and I'm like, okay. This is my place. This is where I belong. You talk to any comics now from a third party perspective, they'll go like, yeah, Robert's fucking traumatized from all of that. That fucked him up, and Armin, and a bunch of us too. But I'm like, no, we're fine. You know?
No, that's not a good sentiment. It's like it hardened you, it calloused you.
Yeah,
it toughened you up.
It made me ready for the tough world of comedy.
Nobody really fucks with someone they don't like either, right? Like that's
totally. Well, anyone who would show up to the corner that we didn't like or we didn't think was part of the gang, we would just kind of avoid.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't want. Why would they waste energy on that? Yeah.
We would have like. I'm just trying to think of like some of the good like it's kind of it's a little, but you understand the vibe that I'm giving off, that I'm telling you about, right?
No, of course it's a community though. That's what it is. Like it is a like boys club, whatever. It's a club though.
It was the hang,
and there's like alphas, and then there's like other people, and like lower on the totem pole. Like it's like normal. That's how tribes work.
You have to show up, and you have to be ready to just like fight. Like you have to be ready to just like take it.
I think that's good. I think that is something that is a good thing that's kind of lost right now in the scene. It is very like nice and like supportive, which there is pros to that too. But I think there's more pros to like just like, dude, you don't truly feel involved if people aren't fucking with you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? As a new guy, you want to be fucking
I was happy people were fucking with me.
I think at the end of the day, right? Like you're receiving attention.
No, for sure. And there were times that definitely made me question, made me want to quit for sure.
Sure.
There was one time where, because it was such a small room, right? Like everyone hanging out, you could hear, right? One time I went on stage and I fucking bombed so bad, bro. I ate such a dick. And I went back, and again, small room, right? I went to the back area, that little hallway there by the bar. I went to the back area. I just ate a dick, and then JJ Lieberman, he just looks at me and goes, "You fucking suck at comedy." And then I go, "What?" And he goes, "Ah ha 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 ha." He just laughs right at my face, and I'm like, "Oh, what?" And then
also funny because JJ's like what, like 35 at this point?
Yeah. Yeah. And then people from the show started looking back, turning their heads back, being like, "Is that fucking guy yelling at that kid who just bombed?" Like, you fucking stink at comedy, like just nonstop.
Did JJ go and bomb right after?
Yeah. Of course he did.
He tells those stories just as vividly. Like he'll tell you how he did that. Then he'll be like, yeah, then I went and fucking bombed after him. He loves it, dude.
I know, but now, man, that's what I mean. Anyone who was there at the time, bro, now they're killing it, bro. That it was literally harboring, we were all just at our like like we were just about to, all of us were about to reach our potential, you know, like it was just that last, like you had your top of the guys hanging out there, and then you had your bottom of the runts guys showing up, and the people who just couldn't handle it would just never come back, or they just wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't. It wasn't probably as bad as like some of that New York shit, like that old school stuff. But it was still just like, holy fuck, man.
Oh, it was a comparison either. I think it's literally like the same thing. It's just a different context. Like not even a different context. It's just like a different situation. So like different, like the same as me and you are humans, and we have like very similar things, but we have very like unique differences and stuff. It's still the same thing. You have alphas fucking with the weak ones, but the weak ones that they like, that they want to bring up. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah, that's the thing. People liked me. That was the thing. They're like, you know, he's got. And when I wasn't around, they would always talk. Well, I mean, I don't think they talk nice things about me, but when I was not around, they would definitely.
I don't think they were going around talking shit about you to other people though.
No.
Like you know what I mean? It's always in love. Though.
I don't think so. Yeah, one time JJ comes up to me, and goes, they had a podcast at the time. He goes, we fucking talked about you on the podcast. And I'm like, oh, what? And I just assumed they just completely shit talked me. And I went to go listen. I was like, what the fuck did these pieces of shit say about me? These fucking assholes, bro. What the fuck did they say about me? And it was all just nice things. And I'm like, oh. Okay.
Well, I guess they like me.
Yeah. JJ was like, hey, Robin, man, he's a good fucking comic, man. He's a good fucking
That's
kid.
what I mean. I think that's all. I think that's all the talk behind your back. It's only to your face that you fuck with them.
I listened to it the other day because I made a video of it, of them talking about me, and I found it the other day, and I should put it in here. But I found it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's. Even today, I was like, man, that still feels nice to hear, even all these years later, because these guys are all killing it now in New York and Austin, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, you know what? They knew me, they recognized me, and these guys come back, they know, hey, that's fucking Khakham, you know. They would just be like, fucking Rabbit, you know, he's a fucking 13-year-old kid. He fucking grew up without a fucking father. He grew up, he listened to fucking Patrice and Opie and Anthony, and he throws fucking haymakers. This fucking kid. He's gonna fucking be a great comic. And then Ryan's like, yeah. He comes up to me after, Ryan Long, he'd be like, he comes up to me after I did some crazy joke, and he'd be like, that's really funny. I'm like, yeah, well, I told it once, kid, you fucking crazy piece of shit. You know. Good times. That was, let's say, year 17 to year 18. And the whole time, I'm doing the co-op, working for high school credits with Joe at the time. And I came in on my spring break to work. I just was there every day. And my teacher, Joe told this to my teacher. My teacher was like, oh, you're working really hard. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and, you know, I'm still like one credit behind. I was ready to go to summer school and finish high school. And she was like, you know what? I'll just give you a fucking extra credit. So technically I graduated on time. Like I was supposed to. I got 5 high school credits.
What's technically mean?
What do you mean?
Like technically, like you graduated on time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
technically.
Not technically.
Like I graduated on time, technically.
No, you just graduated on time.
Like technically.
You worked your ass off for it, Bobby.
I did. You know what? You're right.
There we go. This is about appreciating what you did.
You're right, Tyler.
Yeah,
I did work my ass off for it.
There you go.
I worked my fucking ass off for it.
You found something you loved and you worked your ass off for it.
Thank you. That was very nice to hear.
You're welcome.
I got 5 high school credits for just showing up, smoking blunts. I wasn't even really smoking at the time.
Buddy, I did a co-op at fucking Canadian Tire one time.
Most people did.
I didn't do shit, dude.
Most people did.
I disappeared.
That's when Atish would tell me. He'd be like, how many kids your age are fucking working at PetSmart right now?
Exactly.
And you're just here making my album.
Yeah.
Now go ahead and make it.
No, keep it up, kid. Seriously, hurry the fuck up.
Hurry up, kid. We got to get this work done. Hurry the fuck up.
We've been smoking weed all day. We're behind.
Doing spots, you know, and like... But the coolest part was...
When was the first time you crushed, actually?
First time I actually crushed?
Yeah, is this later on, or like when you were 18? Did you have like a smash?
Man, you know what? I started doing well when I was like... I started comedy around 16, but I started in like 2017-ish, right? I was doing okay because here's the thing. I was 16, right? And my jokes were 16-year-old jokes that were like... funny. You know, they were jokes. They were in joke form, but they were hack and they were fucking, you know, I was like doing a Dave Attell impression at the time. So it was like...
Most people were at that time, right? Or like, but it's coming up through comedy. A lot of people
I didn't know, man. Yeah. I didn't know anything else. I didn't. I just thought, like, I just didn't know. I didn't know. I just like, I want to be comedy. This guy does comedy. I'm just going to do what he does.
Yeah.
I would be my own stuff, but it would be delivered and said in a way, like, I'd be like... one of my jokes was like I had this wet dream the other day that I woke up that I had my dad's dick in my hand, but then I woke up and I was like, wait, I don't have a dad. Crushed.
That's good. That's funny.
Crushed, bro.
That's like one of the first jokes you had that was working?
One of them, yeah.
That's funny, man. That's a good joke.
It's all right.
It's a fucking killer. He throws haymakers.
He's a fucking killer. That bit he tells about his fucking dad. He's like, I had that dick in my hand. But wait a minute. I don't have a dad. Haymaker.
That's
a fucking haymaker there today. I actually started telling one of my first jokes on stage now, like recently. And I tell the audience, this is one of the first jokes I wrote in comedy. And the joke was like, oh, yeah, my mom, she just started dating this fucking immigrant. And I was like, yeah, I was always for immigration until it started affecting me. Like, yeah, you can come in my country, just don't come in my mother. Gets an applause break every time.
Gets an applause
break because I tell the audience this is my first joke I ever wrote.
I think as your first joke, it's funny. Yeah, absolutely.
First joke I ever wrote. I tell them I was 16. It's the first joke I ever wrote. It wasn't really the first joke I ever wrote, but it was like one of them. One of
the ones that stand out.
But the thing is, as I got older, I would start coming up with new stuff, and I was just bombing, bro. It was bad, bro. I was eating shit, not left and right, nonstop. It was and on top of that, every time I eat shit, I got every older comic being like, "You fucking stink." I'd be like, yeah, I know.
It's kind of a question, honestly. Just like I experience this all the time. When you do that though, like, do you feel like it's like you'll be doing well, and then it's like you start. Actually, I have in golf all the time. You start getting result oriented rather than situation, like where you are now, rather than like trying to get somewhere. Like you're doing well, and then you kind of stop and think about it, and you're like, oh, I'm doing well, like how am I doing well right now? And that's when you get inside your head rather than being outside of yourself and just allowing that muscle memory to kick in, or like whatever subconscious sort of thing you have. Like there's a weird thing in comedy that you're kind of talking about. I think it's just normal where you're doing well and you're not thinking about it, and then you recognize you're doing well, and that's when things start to go bad almost. And I think that's
what you're saying. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. It's a little deep. You're going deep. I get it.
Yeah.
With me, I wasn't doing well. I was bombing.
But you were doing pretty well before.
Yeah, when I was 16.
That's what I mean.
When I would start, and then I would start trying to, and then the little aura of like, as soon as I turned 17 and I got comfortable around, all the other guys got comfortable around me. Then they really told me what they thought.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Then they're like, yo, this is bad.
Yeah.
You're a hack. You stole all of Dave Attell's material. What? Huh? I did? I'm not as good as I think I am? It was my first real, I guess you could say, ego death.
Yes.
My first real, like, ego death where I experienced. I remember listening to an interview one time with, like, Artie Lang and Dave Attell or somebody, and they were like, it was just some weird radio show, interview show, whatever, and they were saying, there's nothing funny about a 17-year-old kid. And I'm like, I'd listen and I'd be like, no, I'm different.
Yeah.
I'm funny. I'm a funny 17-year-old kid. And I realized, like, no, it really is just
when
like
you really started to feel like real self-doubt.
This is when I really started to feel like real, like self-doubt, real, like it's that first ego death is just so fucking, you're like, oh my God, wow. I actually, that first realization you have in comedy where you go, I'm not as good as I think I am, is the hardest fucking moment any comic could really experience, because you come in, you think you're good, you think you're hot, and then you really get that moment and you're like, oh shit. At least that's what I had, where I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not that good. Like yeah, the jokes are there, but they're not like, oh, I still to this day I come up with a new bit, and in my back of my head, there's this little voice to be like, you're a fucking hack. What is this? This is someone's already said this a million times. I've gotten a lot better at not listening to that voice.
Yeah.
Because the honest truth, the reality is everything's hack. Everything's been said. Everything's been done over and over again. Really, all you can do is just try to bring your unique sort of voice to this thing that's already been done over and over again.
Yeah.
I've established that, and it's really once I stopped caring about that, my material, everything has gone a lot better. But it was that and I'm insecure at the time, and I have Crohn's, and I'm skinny, and I'm pale, and I'm just dying every day. Slowly but surely, my bowels are attacking itself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and then I have to go down to a comedy club. I got to bomb 5 minutes. I'm lucky I even got a spot, and then I bomb, and then I got all these other comics be like, you fucking stink. And that really was, I was really in the trenches at that time. That really did prepare me for like a career, I guess you could say, in this biz almost.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is like that kind of mentality, that ball busting, hanging out community, it doesn't really exist, at least in the city anymore, or really, I guess you could say anywhere. Now it's all like And I'm all about it. I'm okay with it. But it's really, it's this fake kind of like supportiveness. It's this fake.
That's what I mean. Like, it's like if somebody's like really like strangers are really nice to your face, it always like in the back of my mind, like, what are you up to? Like, what are you saying behind my back? And that could be me. I'm a little suspicious about that, a little insecure, sure. But like, I think there's some truth to that too, where it's like the ball busted to your face, it means love. Like, that's like how a guy kind of shows love for another guy.
Yeah, at least at the corner, and that time you knew where you stood. There wasn't any.
Yes, that's a good way to put
that.
There wasn't
any misconceptions. There wasn't any lying. Well, not really. But there wasn't any like. There wasn't any. Now it's like a guy bombs and you go, "Hey man, good set," and you just give him a little fist bump and you're like, "No, I was thoughtful." You know, but hey, who am I to say that? You know, and you can't say that to any of these guys now. And that's why I kind of feel bad for the young guys coming up now, is because they never really had that sort of like that ego tear down and then rebuilt it back up again like I did. You know, like they come in thinking they're good. No one ever tells them they're shit, and then they just goes into they keep being shit but thinking they're good. You know.
Yeah.
That was year 18, 17, doing the co-op, working. I got 5 high school credits. They threw a little graduation party at the end for my high school.
At the corner?
No, not at the corner.
Oh, okay.
At my high school. They showed up. It was an appreciation breakfast for all the co-op students and the co-op, whatever you call them.
There's a little retard luncheon, eh?
Kinda, yeah. Like the co-op supervisors is my point.
Yeah.
The co-op supervisors. So they invited Joe. And I'm like, you coming? He's like, yeah, I'll come. Sure. Sure. He shows up with Nitish. They just smoked the biggest blunt before my 8 a.m. appreciation breakfast. Joe shows up wearing a picture of his girlfriend's ass, like on his shirt. But there was like I saw it. You can find the picture. I gotta send the picture. I'm gonna send you the picture. But I'm gonna send you the picture. But it was kind of like it wasn't just her. It was her like her ass. But it was like there was this weird hue over it, so you couldn't really see it unless you really looked in. But yeah, he showed up. It was like, bro, like these guys just Wild West, bro. No decency as human beings. Mm-hmm. Shows up, the appreciation breakfast, of course, is like some microwaved eggs and stale blueberries and no pancakes, no nothing, right? Just whatever.
Goods, yeah.
A little bit of microwave sausage, right? Nothing. We're hanging out there and fucking my teacher walks up to Nitish and goes, "Yo, you think you do like some stand up or whatever?" And Nitish's like, No, I can't do comedy here. No, what the hell? I can't. No, it's just 8 a.m. It's a breakfast. There's high school kids here, and just no one's expecting. She's like, come on, like, come on. You could do some comedy here, right? Can't you? You could do some stand up, right? Like, and she's like, he's like, I don't know. Like, my material's not like age appropriate, I think. Or she was like, well, tell me one of your jokes. What's one of your jokes? And Nitish goes, well, I have this joke about this guy in a wheelchair. And she's like, no, I don't know. No, but like, come on, just do. They had a wireless microphone, so he fucking got up there and did stand up. Yeah, she forced him, and me and Joe were busted Nitish's balls. Finally, I had my moment of like, fuck you, which was like, we were all like, hey man, come on, what would the other guys say if they put you in this position? Come on. We used Paul Thompson, another comedian, as an example, because he was like the killer, the top of the top at the corner, and Nitish always looked up to him, and we were like, come on, what would Paul Thompson do? Well, Paul Thompson was in this, and Joe started really going in. He's like, come on, what would JJ do? Come on, when these guys would go up there, come on, what would they do? You saw the wall Nitish put up break down because we're putting him on stage to do comedy in a fucking high school cafeteria at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So he went up there and he did stand up. I think the words he said was the word shit. He did a bit about how like you're gonna spend all your OSAT money on shoes. He bombed, but like it wasn't like a bomb. It was like I saw faces being. I was standing there beside him. By the way, they were like, my teacher brings us up. So this year was a little different for me as a co-op teacher. I actually have a student who's a comedian. That is like a PowerPoint presentation. There's like a slideshow.
Pictures of you getting food knocked out of your hands.
Yeah. There's like a projector. And it's just a picture of me on stage, right? Like that I took on my phone. and she's like, we actually have a special guest. We have a comedian, one of the comedians from the club who's gonna do comedy. And he goes up there and they give him the mic and he's stoned high. Me and Joe, I'm standing there beside him like with my arms crossed, like hi, yeah, this is the guy. You know, I work with this guy, right? It was just so weird. It was like two worlds collided at the time, right? I think Natish has a Facebook post about it after. It comes up every once a year on his memories and stuff. He wrote something like, just did stand up in a high school cafeteria. Congrats to the kid for graduating or whatever. But that was really, it was just so surreal, man. It was just all of it. It was just like, it was such a time. It was like all the universe collided, the stars collided with each other. Everything just sort of like combined and like aligned is the right word, perfectly with each other for all this shit to happen. It was just little signs would pop up here and there, like, oh yeah, I'm on the right track here. You know, little signs would just pop up. Like I told you about Rick Rowley.
Mm-hmm.
I told you about Rick Rowley. He and how he would have these meltdowns, right? Before I started stand-up, when I was just going to go watch the shows, I saw him bomb so bad one time, Rick Rowley. I saw him bomb at like 12 in the morning, just so bad, right? Just had a meltdown, freaked the fuck out, lost his mind. The next day, I'm walking down my high school hallway, and I see him there in my high school, in the hallway, standing there. And I go, hey, are you that comic? And he's like, yeah, I'm a comedian. He's like, gets all happy and shit. He's like, I'm a comedian. Yeah. I was like, oh, I saw you at the corner last night. And his face just dropped. He's like, hey, kid, don't tell anybody about that. Kid.
That wasn't comedy,
kid. I'm gonna lose my job. I'm like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I just, I help out. It's like this program that was brought in for delinquent kids so they could hang out after school and do like after school activities versus like go out and do drugs or whatever. And he was like a supervisor there for it. And I remember I was like hanging out in this program and he was going up to all of his coworkers being like, someone recognized me for being a comedian. One of these fucking kids. He was just so happy about it. And then the running joke just became, hey, Rick Rowley's your teacher? This fucking retard's your teacher? Really? This dummy's your teacher? This is the guy? It just never ended, But he was like I saw him, like, what are the fucking odds, bro? Out of any high school, I wasn't even doing stand-up. I run into this guy the next day. He brings me around. He introduces me to Joe. Then it went to this, to the co-op, to everything else. You see what I mean? Like, I grew up in this shit, is what I mean. I thought I started too late. Nah, I came in at the perfect time. I grew up.
Started too late.
I thought I started too late. I thought like I started like the corner was already this thing. I came in at the fucking perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we got to go through the years, but this was pretty much my years. Year 17 to 18 was just this. This is all it was, I know we're supposed to be talking about the accomplishments. I consider all of this an accomplishment. I consider just the fact that I lived through all of this at this young age.
You're a survivor.
From 16 to 18, and I made it through the other side. I'm a fucking survivor.
Survivor, dude.
That's what I'm realizing, and that's my accomplishment from years 16 to 18. The glory years, the golden years. The fucking what the fuck am I doing years, the stumbling and hitting myself into walls years, the fighting myself years, the fucking the being a teenager but not doing teenager shit, hanging out with older people at the time, which I thought was the coolest shit ever.
It is the coolest shit ever when you're that age, man.
One time they all started doing blow and they kicked me out.
Well, of course. Well, I'm not trying to ruin
but
you.
That's
why they like you.
I wasn't boys or anything with anyone. I was just hanging out late. They all get blown and they're like, they see me just hanging out in the corner. It's like, hey, yo, you got to get the fuck out of here, kid. What the fuck you doing? And on my way out, as the door closing, I hear, that kid's fucking 16, bro.
Yeah. No, yeah, you can't.
Hey,
you
man.
Coke around 16.
No, you can't. You can't. And
They'll ruin you. What if you did a line that night?
Apparently Seth Rogen had the same story. Seth Rogen has the same story. When he was like 15 and started doing comedy, a bunch of older comics started doing blow around him. But they didn't kick him out. They just like, kid, watch. Watch this kid.
Watch me sniff this.
Watch this kid. Man, good times, honestly. I don't know. You have any questions? I just don't want to leave anything out. Is there anything?
No, man. It's just sick that you found something like at such a young age like that. That's awesome, man.
That's what I realized, and that's what a lot of people tell me. And it's like,
no, dude, it's like I'm envious of that. Like, I mean, like, I'm happy for you, but I like definitely get jealous of that too, because I didn't find out that I like comedy for whatever it is, stand up, sketch, whatever. Like, I didn't find out like I love doing comedy until like 25, 26.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So like, it's sick that you found it like at that age.
You know what? And I think that was a big reason too why I'd get my balls busted a lot of the stuff is like all these older guys with the same kind of thing. They didn't find it till later, right?
There's some bitterness that's behind that you have to kind of overcome that, because again, time's ticking, like you said, like it's ticking even more, right? The older you get, and the more in the later you find your thing, you're like, fuck, I don't have much time, and you have to accept the same thing you did, where it's just like, no, it's okay, just be grateful that you found it, type thing. It just gets harder and harder.
Totally, and like I'm getting to that point, and it's like, hey man, listen, we're all on our own path, you know, we're all on our own journey. You know, some people, Bill Burr didn't find out stand-up until he was 24. Andrew Schultz didn't find stand-up till he was 24.
Yeah, Jesselnick didn't start till he was 25. He talks
about
a lot
of people. Yeah. Some people started
23 maybe.
Joey Diaz didn't start stand-up till he was like 37.
Well, you get out of jail till then, yes.
Yeah. He didn't start stand-up till he was like 37. You know, we're all on our own path, man. There's no wrong time to start it. There's only the time you start.
Yeah,
right. It's only the time you start. My whole thing was even wanting to do comedy was I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, I would listen to podcasts and stuff, and I'd be like, and I'd hear these stories. Originally, I wanted to be like a photographer, video guy for comedians. I'd show up to the corner at the time just to like with like a camera and stuff, and like try to like take photos and shoot people and stuff. And then I went on stage because I thought going on stage was like if I did comedy, they'd trust me more or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then I just liked doing comedy, and I was like, oh, I want to be a fucking comedian. What the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah,
let's just be a fucking comic here. Enough of this bullshit.
Enough of this dumb shit.
Enough photography, horse shit, bullshit.
What gay photography.
Yeah, what the fuck am I doing with this? Yeah. Fuck this. Yeah. You know. Good times, honestly. Just all of it. It was just so good. One time they opened a corner in Niagara Falls. It was open for like 6 months, and I was there every weekend. I was there from, let's say, Thursday to Sunday. And like we'd sleep like in the club, and like the show would end, we would sleep in the club, and like I worked the door there. That's where I learned. That's where I started doing a little longer sets. I started doing like maybe I would host the shows. I'd do like 15, maybe 20s at the time. It was tough, but I would do it, right? And I'd be like, oh, you're sick. And I was just in Niagara Falls. I would just leave, just go sleep in a fucking, just in a comedy club, like in like it was like a 100-seater, but we told the headliners that would come out was 200. You know, nice. Come sell the show. Come on. Oh, you only sold 50 tickets. Well, I don't know why. It's a 200-seater room. I don't understand. Oh, you couldn't sell more. You know, I got to like work with like a bunch of I got to work with like I mean, when I say work with, I mean I got to open the door for. And I got to hang out with and maybe do like a 5-minute little quick spot for like Sam Tripoli at the time, Nick DiPaolo, who was like super cool dude, who loved me, Rory Scovel at the time. These guys, or some chick at the Rory Scovel show called the cops on me one time. Yeah, because it was packed, sold out. It was a lineup. It was like a staircase. You'd have to go up the stairs to get into the club, and I would be at the top of the door. I'd be like, yo, I'd be checking people's tickets, okay? This girl comes in with her husband. They're a little fucked up. Oh, yeah, it's fine. You're getting fucked up before the show. That's okay. Whatever, right? They had tickets, everything good. I let them into the club. There wasn't enough chairs for them. So the owner was like, go throw out 2 chairs for them. I bring out 2 chairs, put out 2 chairs for them. I want to go back outside, keep checking tickets. There's people at the door. I got to let people in. I got to do my job here. She goes, thank you, sweetheart. She's kind of fucked up, the girl. She goes, thank you, sweetheart. She comes, she grabs my face and tries to kiss me. And I kind of just move her hands away from me, like off my face. And I go, yeah, later. You know, I'm 18. Obviously, I'm going to kiss you, but like later, you know, when I'm done my job here. I go, work comes first. You know, I'll fucking tongue fuck you. Don't worry, you know, in a minute, right? I put her hands off my face. I go back out there. I don't think anything of it. Not my first time dealing with a drunk person. It's fine. And then she comes out, pops her head out the window, goes, I'm going to get you, motherfucker. What the hell? Then the power trip comes in. I go back inside. I'm like, hey, get her the fuck out of here. Get her the fuck out of here. I go to the owner. There was a different owner at the time, Teddy, who owned the Niagara Club. I go, Teddy, get her the fuck out of here. And she's like, what? What happened? I'm like, get her the fuck out. She just threatened me. She fucking tried to kiss me. Get the hell out. And then her husband was way taller than me, like 6'5", big fucking dude. Comes up, like looks down at me because I'm like 5'8". Looks down. He's like, hey, watch, buddy, that's my wife. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. That's your wife. I'm pointing up, like, buddy, she fucking threatened me. You're gone too. Get the fuck out.
You're like a fucking umpire, man.
Yeah.
You're gone.
You're gone. You get the fuck out, right? I go back outside. I'm fucking checking tickets. She comes out of the club with the fucking cops on speakerphone and goes, And I was, I'm here at, what's the address here? And I'm like, I give her the address. I'm like, Clifton Hill. Like, whatever, we're here. And she's like, I was just assaulted. And she puts the phone up to me, and I go, no one's assaulting you. No one assaulted you, not once. Then she fucking fucks off with her husband. Show starts. 20 minutes later, Teddy comes up to me, the owner. He's like, all right, man, like there's like one cop downstairs. Just tell him what happened. Just be honest. Don't lie. Just tell him everything. I'm like, okay, sure. Bro, one cop showed up. One guy, one car. I go down there. I'm like, hey, officer, how's it going? You know? He's like, all right, tell me what happened. He's like, he just doesn't want to be here. He's like, tell me what happened, man. I'm like, so, I'm checking take. I give him the whole rundown, basically. I go, I'm checking tickets. This girl tried to kiss me. I move her hands off my face. Whatever. He runs my ID. No, everything's cool. Nothing's bad, right? And I'm like, yeah, she's crazy, whatever. And he goes, yeah, she just went down to the station to file a complaint against me or something. I don't even know what I did. And I'm like, yeah, all right, officer. Yeah, totally. And I was like trying to get him. I'm like, officer, come on, look at me. Do I look like a guy who hits women? Come on, officer. He just starts laughing. He's a fucking Niagara cop, bro. A Niagara cop. He deals with meth heads and fentanyl heads all day. He doesn't have time for this bullshit. Mm-hmm. And I was like pale and skinny and like whatever. I'm like, officer, come on. Do I look like a guy who hits women or whatever? And then she left this fucking Google review. It was like the funniest review I've ever read. I gotta find it somewhere in my camera roll. But one of the lines was basically, the door guy at this club is a teenager and he's a loose cannon. He's a loose cannon teenager. I'm like, oh fuck, really? He's like, yeah, he's a loose cannon. I just tried to thank him for giving me a seat, and he hit me. And he pushed me, left a 1-star review. Good thing that club shut down like 2 months later, because like it wasn't going to last. Bro, you go there today, that club is still there. That's how bad of a location it was. Nobody wanted it. 6 years later, it's still just an abandoned corner comedy club.
Have you ever gone in it?
You can't go in it because it's closed.
Oh, okay.
It's locked off. But you can the sign's there. Everything's still there. 6 years later, 7 years later, nobody's taken over that location. Jesus. That's how bad. That's why we just knew it was never going to last. But it was a fun little time. It really strengthened my roadness, strengthened me being on the road, All right. That was year 1817. We're flying through these, huh? Aren't we? Okay. All right, we're good. These next ones are all right. Year 19. My Crohn's had taken over. I was dying. I weighed.
Oh, the darkness.
It was dark, bro. I had weighed about 120 pounds.
Jesus.
I was 5'8". I weighed about 120 pounds. I was all skin and bones. My hair was falling out because I was malnourished. I was not absorbing any nutrients. Finally, I go in. I get a fucking MRI. I'm dying at this point. I've had my first ass surgery at this point. I had ass drainage. The whole time going to Niagara with a leaky ass the whole time. I got ass drainage. I'm fucking dying. I go in. They do an MRI. They do the whole shebang. The doctor comes. He goes, listen, you have really severe Crohn's. I go, okay. And in my head, I'm like, hey, like, this is a doctor. I'm like, come on, you're a doctor. You've been doing this for years. Come on, I know I'm not the worst you've ever seen. Just trying to make myself feel better. I know I'm not the worst you've ever seen. She goes, hey, you're pretty up there.
Damn.
Damn is right. Like, top 10? She's like, yeah, top 10. Like, top 10 really severe Crohn's. I'm like, fuck. So what do we got to do? Well, you can't have surgery right now. 6 weeks, bowel rest. Then we'll do the surgery. We're going to keep you nourished. We're gonna get you back up to health. Don't even worry about it. 6 weeks, I didn't eat nothing. They kept me on an IV. They fed me through IV fluids. It was from home, but they had an IV. It was like it wasn't just an IV. It was an IV that went from here to like all the way into my like chest or whatever. And through there, they would just pump me full of whatever. This just big bag. It just looked like milk almost. It was like, but in it was just vitamins, minerals, fucking fat, everything you need. They got me right back up to fucking like 140 pounds, I think.
Yeah.
And I didn't eat nothing. It was the weirdest feeling.
That is crazy, dude.
It was the weirdest feeling, dude, because I'd be full, but I wouldn't eat anything. I was only allowed to have like clear liquids. So water, tea, broth, and gummy bears. You know why I like gummy bears so much?
I know now.
Do you know why? Because I trauma bonded with Haribo gummy bears.
Yeah. Gummy
bears were okay. So my breakfast would be beef broth or chicken broth with gummy bears. That would be my breakfast. Like, I would fucking, and I felt alive. I felt like, because the nutrients and shit, I finally felt like a human being again. I wasn't dying. Mm-hmm. And like my shits were just gelatin at this point because I'm just smashing gummy bears. I would go to Costco, get a whole bag of gummy bears, and I would just smash gummy bears all day, play Civilization on my Nintendo Switch in the big room while I just waited for this surgery. 6 weeks, I would really go out. I got into I had a Lego phase. I just built Legos for a little bit. Then we did the surgery. I got back up to health. We did the surgery. It was also the same year that Fast and Furious 9 came out, 2019. Hobbs and Shaw.
Did you watch that?
No.
What a time to watch it.
I was busy recovering. I was busy, but what a time to be alive. Mm-hmm. Thank God I did not die the same year that Fast and Furious 9, Hobbs and Shaw came out. That's the one with The Rock and Jason Statham.
Yeah.
The Rock plays Hobbs, and I think Jason Statham plays Shaw. I had the bowel surgery. Everything went well. They took out 70 centimeters of my small bowel. 70 centimeters. Gone. I lived off gummy bears and broth for 6 weeks and intravenous fluids. And then finally they were like, all right, we removed it. 70 centimeters. The doctor said it was so bad that when she took it out, it like looked like a grapefruit. Like it was so swollen and inflamed, it looked like a grapefruit. Yeah.
Jesus.
70. Apparently your small bowel was like the size of a football field. Really, like if you
stretched it all
out, it all out, it would be about a football field. So if that's the case, then 70 centimeters,
it's like nothing.
It's like nothing, really, you know. But it's still like a good. That's like almost a meter.
Yeah,
that's like almost a meter of the football. That's like the first yard to the 10-yard line, almost.
Yeah,
if we really think, right. 10 yards.
No, it's it's 1 yard. Like basically,
maybe 1 yard.
Meter, 1 yard. Yeah, right. Meter and yard are pretty close.
Yeah, right between the touchdown line and like that first little line.
Yeah, first dash.
That's a good amount. That's a pretty good chunk.
Coming out of your ass, yeah.
Coming out of my intestines.
I'm thinking about the diameter of the grapefruit coming out. Really,
yeah.
Like the length, I could go so much length.
Length is a
big,
lot,
but if it's this fucking big,
it's like that. And I felt like so much better, dude. I honestly felt like, and they were like, "Yo, we can't let you out until you shit. Like you have to shit." Or fart at least once in the hospital, and the whole time they're giving me morphine, and I'm like, sick, fucking morphine. Yeah, I love morphine. Fucking more. I'm just pressing the little morphine pump. I wasn't even in pain. I was like, I just want to get high.
Yeah.
And I'm like pressing the morphine pump. But then 2 days in the hospital stay, 3 days, they said, are you using your morphine? I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, morphine shuts your bowels off. And I'm like, well, how come nobody fucking told me this? Because I need to shit. So I can leave this fucking place, but you guys just gave me morphine and said go fucking wild, go wild with the morphine.
Dispenser.
But then you tell me that the morphine doesn't makes you not shit. I'm like, okay, so I moved on to Tylenol. It wasn't the same. Obviously, I stopped taking it. I wasn't even in pain.
That sucks.
You know what it was? The first 1 day or two, I was in pain, but you know what the real pain was? It was in my shoulders. It was in my shoulders.
Laying around?
No, I'll tell you why. Because what happened? Because I still had gas in my stomach from the surgery, but I couldn't fart. My bowels were still asleep. I had so much gas. They pump you full of air so they can work inside you and stuff. But that air, they expect you to fart it out. But if you can't fart it out, you can't. So what happens is I lie down. All that air just went up into my shoulders. Like when you lie down, whatever, all that air goes up into your shoulders. So the shoulder pain, that's what they say. They say the worst thing about bowel surgery is your shoulder pain because your bowels are still asleep. You can't get rid of that air. It goes somewhere. It's like a water bottle, like, right? You know, when you flip it upside down, there's like one little air bubble that just shoots up.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, same concept here. Air was just going right up into my shoulders. I felt like a fucking elephant was sitting on my shoulders. So like morphine, but then that didn't make it fucking better. So like, what the fuck, guys? You know. Finally, like day 4 or something, I shit out like the tiniest turd. I tell my doctor, I'm like, I shit. She's like, that's exciting, huh? That's pretty exciting, huh? I'm like, okay, yeah, it's exciting, all right. And and then I ate. I had my first meal after 6 weeks of not eating, and let's say 4 or 5 years of pain was a plain white bread tuna sandwich with no mayo. The most delicious tuna sandwich I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah.
I think I felt like as soon as I bit into that tuna sandwich, you ever see those videos of those soldiers coming home from war?
Yeah.
And they start like crying because they're home.
Yeah.
And like the worst that could have happened didn't happen, and they're like fine now. That I felt like when I start bawling my eyes out eating this plain mayo tuna sandwich by myself, I'm like, I did it. I made it through. I can't believe it. I made it, you know, it's fine. This tuna sandwich isn't going to kill me. It's not going to hurt me. It's fine, you know? Bro, and ever since that, bro, I'm telling you, people ask me what my favorite food is. I got nothing to tell them. Like I like anything. You put anything in front of me, I'll eat it. Even to this day, bro. A slice of pepperoni pizza. I fucking appreciate the hell out of a slice of pepperoni pizza. I appreciate a fucking...
Of course you like fucking pepperoni pizza. I can't believe you can use a worse food than that. You're like, oh, pepperoni pizza? I'll eat the shit out of that.
There was a time where I couldn't eat a slice of pizza because I'd be like, this would fucking kill my guts. This would destroy me.
No, yeah, for sure.
Because it was so greedy.
I just thought you were going to pull it like liver or something like that.
Liver. Yeah. I'll eat liver. I fucking love liver.
Yeah.
I love liver.
That's fine.
I'll eat liver.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's a good example. Like, you love liver. Like, you're in a small niche there. You say pizza, it's like everyone's like, yeah, I like
these
pizza
fucking
too.
people, man. People, I hate this. I like this. It's like, bro, you know how fucking lucky you are? You can just eat food. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want this. There's too much sauce on the fucking Alfredo. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of privilege on those people.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. You ever eat a white plain tuna sandwich after eating Haribo gummy bears and fucking beef broth for 6 weeks?
Again, it just doesn't sound that bad, the Haribo gummy bears.
It wasn't that bad, but again, man, it doesn't actually fill you up.
You sound like an inmate that was in like a low security prison with like PlayStation and shit. You're like, yo, I did some time in the joint, boy.
Guys, you don't understand. I had PlayStation 2 when there was PlayStation 4 out. It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But again, like it was just like, yeah, I had my like Highway of Heroes moment where I'm like, I made it through. I should have gotten a fucking medal for this, you know?
Serious. No, yeah, no, you did survive. So that's insane, dude.
So this is
6 weeks in the hospital?
6 weeks on bowel rest, 6 weeks not eating, like 3 days in the hospital to get the cycle of the fluid starting, and then it was at home. And then I had a nurse come to my house I had a nurse come in the morning and a nurse come at night to give me these fluids, to not take away the fluid, to mix it, whatever.
Intense, man.
Yeah. But I was still like walking around. I was doing my thing, but it was just wasn't eating. You know, I'd walk around with this IV sticking out of my fucking arm.
In the hospital, though, right?
First 3 days, and then at home.
And then at home.
At home for like the next like 5 weeks, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and like, but still, it was just, you know.
Yeah.
It sucks. It was summer. It was like July 2019. It was like the summertime too.
You're just staring out your window with the IV thing.
Yeah.
I wish.
Some guys from the corner came to see me, which was nice. You know, JJ. I love JJ. This is why I love it. He showed up day one. I was there. He showed up. He had his girlfriend at the time who was like a porn star or something.
Hot chick with the big tits.
Yeah. He showed up. Like on Canada Day. I was in the hospital. Canada Day weekend. He was on his way to the cottage. He walked into the hospital room with his bags to say hi to me. And then he was like, oh, guy, I was trying to convince that fucking broad downstairs to come up here and show you her tits, but she didn't want to. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay, man. It's fine. I would have loved it, but it's fine. He's like, yeah, there's a fucking dying kid up there. You don't want to go up there and show him your tits? I was trying to convince her to come in and show your tits. He would just hang out, whatever. He walks in. I'm in a room with 4 other people. He goes, fucking socialist fucking healthcare shit. Fucking communist fucking healthcare. It's 5 people in one room. What is this? And there's other people in these beds, and he's just screaming this. He walks in. Yeah, other people are in the room. He walks in like, I try to get her to come here and show you her tits. Fucking socialist healthcare. This is where they put you. Anyways, but I love Jay. But then, you know, as time went on, I was in the hospital with a couple of people, you know, and that's how I realized, you know, these people cared about me, you know. At the end of the day, the ball busting, everyone cared. You know, everyone showed up, everyone came, you know. Then I get out of the hospital, okay? I get my first car. Lexus. I'm fine now. Everything's cool. I get a car, right? I went through the bowel surgery. We're talking fall now, 2019. I get my first car. It was a Lexus LS 430, the Pimpmobile. It was a 2003 Lexus LS 430. Gangster fucking car. Gangster car. Like, so gangster. Like, a car where, like, it was the Batmobile, bro. I could fucking move, press the buttons, raise the suspension, change the engine speed. It was a pimp car, bro. I showed up to the corner the first time in that thing, bro.
How did you get this car?
My mom bought it. But, like,
that's sick.
It was like $3,000. Or something.
I don't care how much it was.
She was like, hey,
20 grand.
Listen, kid.
Sick,
she was like, hey, you made it through. You survived. Here's a car. This was shit box. There's 300,000 kilometers on it. $3,000. We sold it to some Somalians 2 years later for $1,000. It's probably in fucking Somalia somewhere with a machine gun through the roof.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Right. These guys look like pirates. You know. There's definitely a hostage being held in this car right now in Somalia somewhere.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that thing was such a pain. That was like one of my favorite.
I've seen pictures of you like kind of like doing like the gangster pose in front of it, like the
yeah. No, the V8 engine, bro. 19 years old, I'm driving a V8 engine. Bro, I would floor it and my phone would hit the back windshield. Like it was. I had no business driving a car like that at that age, bro. But I felt like Christopher from The Sopranos. I'm like, this is fucking sick. Dude.
Of course,
this is my car, bro. I survived death.
That's so funny. You go in as like this like little kid at first, and then you show up and you're like, "What's up, faggots?"
Sup? I'm a man now. I got a fucking Lexus, bro. Leather seats. I have massage seats.
Hey JJ,
in the back.
how was the bomb tonight? You fucking loser.
Yeah, have fun on the fucking streetcar.
Yeah.
That thing had massage seats in the back, bro.
Yeah.
You pull down the console.
Did it have fur seats?
No, not fur. No, it was leather.
Yeah.
But you would
leather sick.
You would lean back and it would start massaging your neck, bro.
Oh.
Little fridge. There was a fridge in that fucking thing. A little cooler fridge. You
nice.
Put a couple sandwiches in there. It was just the car, bro. I had that car for 2 years. I learned how to drive on that car. Boys
were hitting you up for rides then?
Yeah, I'd whip everybody around. Shit, nobody had to hit me up. I was showing that thing off.
Yeah, you're like, yo, come for a ride.
Bro, I smoked 3 joints in that thing. It was just like that was like the car. Sunroof.
That's responsible too. 3 was your max.
If I ever get any money again, bro, I'm finding that car. I'm finding a version of that car and buying it. I don't care. I don't care if it's considered a classic car at that point. I'm fucking getting it, bro. That thing was so fun to drive, but it was 8 gas like crazy. It was a wild car.
Yeah.
You know. I got my first girlfriend at the time too. I'm telling you, man. After the bowel surgery.
What about no? Your first girlfriend was like grade 6.
Yeah, that was my first real relationship.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I don't just treat her like a bag of shit, dude. Like, she was real. She was a real person, dude.
She meant something.
She meant something.
Elena, I miss you.
Yeah.
Come back,
that's
please.
All we want. Yeah.
Please, you're really hot now.
Yeah.
I miss you.
Yeah.
But I met my first real girlfriend.
Real girlfriend.
See, that's what I mean, man. After the bowel surgery, everything changed, bro. After the bowel surgery,
you got a sick car, you got a girl.
I don't have to worry about dying every day. Now I can focus on the other.
That's interesting, man. Mm-hmm. You really focused on death for so long, and then after that, it's like. Yeah, it's nothing, right? Like everything's like kind of fearless, I would imagine.
Yeah, like
I don't know. I'm sure you have fears.
It was just I was just grateful to just be alive. Like everything, I just had a completely different view on the world. I still kind of do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in just general, I'm like sometimes I'm eating something and I'm like, I remember a time where I couldn't eat this. You know, and it makes me appreciate what I'm eating. Whether it's just like a piece of chicken and avocado, I'm like, I'm happy I can eat this.
Yeah.
You know. The car, I'm happy I can drive. After the bowel surgery, I finally stopped focusing on dying, and I focused on I missed out on that almost teenage years. I was a teenager, but I didn't have to worry about the whole dying aspect of it, where I could worry about more just like, I can just live my life, you know? Everything's going well. Everything's good. You know, I got my car. I'm getting my dick sucked. I got this girl now. I got my first girlfriend. She loves the car. You know, it all went hand in hand. I had a moose knuckle jacket at the time too. Like once that bowel surgery, I just started being a normal person again. I'm like, oh, this is life. You can just have fun. You can just go out. You could eat. You could drink. You could drive a car. You get your dick sucked. What more do you need out of life?
Yeah.
What more do you need out of life?
Nothing.
Right. That was year 19, and then I was doing comedy again. I was killing again. I was like a year 3 or 4 in stand up.
Well, how do you not kill with that car, man?
How do you not kill with that car? How do you not kill with everything you start going through?
Did you have a parking spot at the corner?
Yeah, in the alleyway.
Yeah,
there was an alleyway.
I was saying, like, people were like, "Oh, that's Bob's spot."
I would just park it and they'd be like, "Whose fucking Lexus is that?" I was like, "Mine." It's Bob's Lexus.
My fucking Lexus.
Bobby's Lexus. Bobby's Lexus.
You're sick if you had Bob's Lexus as your license plate.
Yeah. I remember one time I gave Andrew Packer a ride, and he's like, "Where's your car?" I'm like, "Oh, it's right here." We walk up to it, and he just goes, "The Lexus? That's yours?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. That it turned heads, bro." But it was a shit box at the end of the day. It really was.
First car though. It's sick.
The interior was so good, but everything on the outerior was just the engine was failing.
The exterior.
The driver's side mirror, the back panel fell off, so you could just see all the components of the back mirror. And what I to get a replacement cover was like $300 for this car. So I just took a bunch of electrical tape and just taped it over the mirror. And so I would be driving on the highway and the tape would just be flapping on the fucking I got stranded on the DVP a bunch of times too. Going north, my car would just shut off.
Dude, I feel bad for guys that haven't had that shit car experience.
Yeah, you need it. Your first car has got to be a shit box.
Dude, I went to the ditch one time because my windshield wiper wasn't working in a snowstorm and I couldn't see, and I got too close to the shoulder in a snowstorm and fucking just went into the ditch. And I was like, yeah, man, like that's a good experience in life. You need that.
Bro. One time I had a flat tire. Okay. It was November, just freezing cold. Me and my buddy Leon at the time, we were freezing cold. We hear the flat tire. We park over in the spot. It's freezing, right? I'm like, it's a flat tire. I have a spare in the back. I'm like, I'm gonna change the tire. I know I changed the tire. Leon, my buddy, starts freaking out. Bro, just call the Uber. Just call an Uber. Just leave it here. Just call an Uber.
Uber.
I'm like, bro, what do you mean call an Uber? Like, his dad's a fucking...
You had the jack. You had the shit.
I had the jack. I had everything.
Yeah.
Had the jack. Had the fucking lug nuts. Everything. And his dad was a fucking mechanic. I'm like, bro, you should be doing this shit. Mm-hmm. Bro, I jack up the car. Right? I jack it up. He's freaking out at me the whole time. It's actually cold. I'm freezing. But I'm like, I'm not a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
I'm not calling my mom.
You almost died.
I'm not calling my mom. It's nothing. Yeah. I almost died. I can change a fucking tire. Yeah. I'm not calling my mom. I'm not calling CAA. We're not calling nobody.
This is the day you truly became a man.
We're not calling anybody. Okay? Yeah. I'm not calling nobody. I'm changing this fucking cocksucking tire. I jack it up. Clearly, I have no clue how the jack was because the car kind of just... half of it was sticking up. Like, half of it was kind of like on a tilt angle. You know what I mean? Like, the whole point of jacking is so you can change the tire. I jacked it, but like it was like I swear I put it in the wrong spot because the body was up, but it was tilt, but the tire was like leaned over, kind of. You know, it wasn't just straight up. It was on an angle. It was like on a 45-degree angle. I'm like, it's fine. Gives a fuck as long as the tire's off the ground. It's fine. I take out the tire, we take everything out. I start trying to freezing. I got no gloves. I start trying to get the lug nuts off. The lug nuts are not coming the fuck off. My buddy Leon's freaking out. He's like, bro, call the Uber. Why am I here? It's cold. I'm like, bro, stop being a fucking bitch. Jesus Christ, help me. I'm bouncing on this fucking tire iron trying to get these lug nuts off. They are not coming off. I got the spare. Everything's out. Then my boy goes, hey, look. I go around the car and there's a second flat tire. There's 2 flat tires, and I go, all right, let's call the Uber. Let's go. What am I gonna do? I don't have 2 spare tires.
Is it because you put it up wrong, so it flattened the other tire?
No, the other tire got flattened at the same time. They were just shitty tires. Yeah. They were the tires the car came with. I never even changed them.
Nice.
Yeah, and I leave the car on the jack. I come back the next day. It's just an empty parking lot, and all you see is this car like 12 feet above the ground, about to fall off the fucking jack. We call CAA. They do it properly to take it to the garage and get new tires. But that was the day where the glorious day of car ownership was a day like that. I got stranded on a DVP one time. My car just shut off. I take it to the mechanic and say, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with it? I'm expecting to pay like crazy money to get it fixed. What the fuck's wrong with it? He goes, you just ran out of gas. Okay. Really? It's like, yeah, but the needle, he's like, your needle's wrong. It showed you had a quarter, but you didn't. You were empty. So keep it above a quarter next time. I'm like, motherfucker, gone. The car was gone. 2 years, drove it 2 years, gone. Yep. Gone. Year 19. What are you feeling, Tyler? What are you feeling? You feeling good? You want to keep going? You want to do a part 3? We could do a part 3.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's just wrap this up by 7. I got to wrap all this stuff up, and I got to get out of here.
You wanna cut it here?
We can cut it here, yeah.
You want to cut it? You want to do a part 3?
If you're good with that.
You want to do a part 3?
If you're good with that, I can't go past 7, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to do a part 3?
Yeah, I'm down with part 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting to the good part of your life right now.
We're doing a part 3.
I'm good with part 3.
I feel like you think the audience wants... I don't know if the audience wants 3 parts of this. Like,
I mean, it's like a joke, man. You don't really know until you try it, you know?
We got to experiment.
We got to experiment.
If we're giving the audience what they want.
Dude, I'm thinking it might go to a part 4.
Oh, maybe. That would fucking... Part 3. We got to do a part 3. Like,
listen, Star Wars has like 25, but how many parts Fast and the Furious
We're almost there, man. We got 5 more years left to talk about.
5 more years, dude.
I feel like...
Well, we're getting to the meaty parts, though, you know? Like, we're getting to, like, the real life shit.
This is good shit. Yeah, I hope it's good shit. Listen, if you listen to this, comment below that you like this, because we'll do a part 3.
And if you didn't like it, comment below.
And if you didn't like it, I'll drop it. We'll go back to talking about how you doing, you dumb whore.
No, here's the thing. We won't drop it.
No, we're going to do a part 3.
We will not appease. This is not what the Robert Khakham show's about. The Robert Khakham show does whatever the fuck it wants.
I wanted to get this done in part 2, but in 2 parts, but I don't think... Hey, man, you know what? We got to go with the flow here. If the people want 3 parts of this, we're giving them 3 parts of this.
Listen, man, we start making some money for this, man, we'll clear the fucking plans.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Life goes on.
You know what? Let's call it there then. Part 2. Part 3 coming next week. We're fucking. We started. We got to see this through, man.
Revenge of the Bob.
You can blame my fucking therapist for this, but we're doing it. We're doing part 3. Revenge of the Bob. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
The Phantom Bob.
No. Let's call this one Clone Bob.
What?
Bob Wars.
The Bob Wars.
Star Wars 2 Bob Wars.
We're doing a 3-parter of this. Okay. Part 3 coming next week. Thank you guys for listening. Tyler's got to get out of here by 7. I got to go do something else, I think. Maybe go gamble. You want to go gamble?
All right. No, I can't gamble.
Okay, no worries.
Go do set.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been the Robert Khakham Show, part 3 of 25 Years of Life, coming next week. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great one. Peace, everyone.